right, what game are we playing? And we're playing it in the woods. It's probably not a good idea, just like staying a cabin in the woods, as we've seen in many horror movies. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what this one is all about, starting with the IMDb plot. After a Texas rancher dies, his granddaughter and her girlfriend discover masked hunters at his ranch competing in a twisted game of life and death. Will the beauties and their already rocky romance survive the brutal carnage? All right, no one survives brutal carnage, or they shouldn't at least. Wouldn't be carnage otherwise. We need the carnage. Okay, anyway. All right, so this is a newer film here. I was sent a screener for it. I believe it's been released on a couple of streaming outlets already by now. So just let you guys know that. I believe I posted something at Promote Horror. If I did, I will include that down the bottom so you can maybe get some more information about it, because it's not a major release here by a major company and so forth. So you guys can maybe get a little information on it. With that, I'll try to be spoiler free, but I don't know that there are many twists and turns here. It's pretty kind of straightforward. I think, it's kind of, more of like an indie horror here, not a huge budget, so you got to have that in mind as you watch it. Definitely looked like they had a lot of fun. I'm sure they did. There's definitely some nice bloody scenes in it, so I always imagine these things to be maybe a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. I think, you'll also see, that it's definitely made by horror fans. I think, you'll see obviously, some realm of horror in it that's familiar, starting with the game. We've seen many a horror movie with games being played and people, sent out into woods or different scenarios and being hunted for A, B, or C reason. And then that's one of the elements we have here. Also kind of got a Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe from it as well. So I think you'll see some influences of those type movies in it. So maybe, that can kind of give you a little bit of clue what's going on here and maybe reasons to watch. So yeah, to be a little bit more specific about what's going on here, early on, we will get to see, a scene where people are dying and being hunted and so forth, to kind of give you an introduction to the game and so forth. Then we will meet the two young women here who are venturing off and coming to see her grandfather's land. Obviously they have different expectations, expectation of getting away, having some time together and so forth, to work on the relationship, along with, maybe some, the one girl, to kind of remember a little bit about her grandfather and kind of deal with that. But obviously that's not going to go as expected. Soon enough, they're going to get introduced to the game and see what's happening here and their reaction to it. I will say that they do get kind of split apart. The girlfriend here gets captured to be a part of the game at a later point, and then the main girl here, whose property it really is, she's kind of left to survive, and B, to get her girlfriend back, and then I guess maybe C, figure out what the hell is really going on here. So with the girlfriend, you'll get a little bit of behind the scenes as we kind of see her captive and so forth. So you get a little bit of what's going on in the background and from the bad guys, point of view, what's going on in that angle. And then you get to see a little bit more of the in-game action with the girl who's trying to find her way to find the girlfriend here. Obviously, like I said, there's no huge twists or turns. You'll find out a little bit more about what is going on here, why it's happening on this property. You'll see the main bad guy and so forth. I think, one of the things that I guess if you're into maybe a little bit more of the blood and guts thing and that style of movie of the hunting of people and so forth. Like I said, we've seen, that kind of movie many a time. This, might be something you want to venture and watch and check out, especially if you're looking for something you might not be, totally 100% familiar with. There is blood and guts, and like I said, they do seem to have some fun with it, and so forth. And since it's a little bit indie horror, they try different things, and nothing is really out of bounds. Um, the acting is okay. I didn't think it was so terrible that you couldn't watch. Obviously always concerned with a lot of maybe indie horror that ends up on Amazon and so forth, that I attempt to watch but sometimes can't because I just can't deal with it. I thought it was okay. Definitely nothing that's going to, I don't think, distract you from being able to watch the film. Um, but yeah, again, I think if you're into this type of movie and maybe you kind of see those influences, some of the other movies in it, maybe it'll make it an enjoyable watch for you, and so forth. Again, I didn't think they did anything, hugely new or out of bounds, but definitely seemed to have fun with it. And, the blood and guts were certainly good enough. Um, that not really a twist or anything like that, but obviously, seeing the main bad guys there, and then their interaction with the eventual bad guy, and I thought he made a pretty decent bad guy in the end. Definitely somebody, you were definitely waiting for them to get theirs at the end. Um, I liked where they ended up. They ended up in kind of this like theme park kind of thing. Really didn't kind of expect it, and I liked the way they kind of played out the events of the end. That was good. A little bit of suspense and tension and so forth. But I liked the way they kind of ended in kind of the ending moments there as well. So whether the game continues or not or whatever, that's something you'll have to see for yourself. So again, with this one, I think I'm just going to give it 2 pools of blood. A good effort here, good with the blood and guts and so forth. But again, nothing that we may not have seen before, and what is happening here. So that's going to be 2 pools of blood out of 5. Again, if I do have any additional information, I'll try to include that down at the bottom so you guys can know more about the film and where you can find it if you're interested. And I definitely congratulate them on the film and being able to do something, put a horror out there, which they seem to have a good time with. So with that, horrorreviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews written in video. Certainly tons of video reviews, so you can like, subscribe, and do everything else that everybody wants you to do here on YouTube. If not, no worries, it is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well, along with the comment section. I know you may not have seen this yet, but if you eventually do or have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out there, and we'll see if we can get that taken care of for you. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.